All right. Happy Monday rolling out. This is your host, Crystal Jordan. And as you guys know, I am back with another Cover Conversations. Today's guest is a philanthropist, a women's advocate, an award winning OBGYN, and star of the hit TV show Married to Medicine on Bravo. She is one of our favorites here at Rolling Out. We've talked to her many times over the years. So it is my pleasure to welcome our very own Dr. Jackie to our Cover Conversation. Good morning, Dr. Jackie.
Good morning. How are you, Crystal?
I am good. It is always great to see you, always great to talk to you. And so I'm just excited that we get a chance to do this. We were hoping to do this during the month of October, but our editorial calendar didn't allow. And so I just want to kind of start there because we know that you are such a strong voice, a strong advocate for breast cancer awareness. And we know that your 50 Shades of Pink is something that happens here. You've been able to share that nationally. So can you just talk to us a little bit about this past October? And we know it was sold out, but how successful it was and what you really think women were able to take from it.
So thank you again for remembering for those of us who have been impacted by breast cancer. It's not just a month. So thank you.
Mhm.
However, we do set aside the month of October to bring about awareness because as we know, the 1 in 8 women in their lifetime will be impacted by breast cancer. The bigger deal for me right now is talking about health disparities, and that is African American women, if diagnosed with breast cancer, will die 41% more than if she were white. So thank you, thank you, thank you. This year, yes, 50 Shades of Pink is back. We have been quiet because of the pandemic. We couldn't do much. We were trying to do everything virtual, but I think people were tired of virtual, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
Annual golf tournament. This is actually our third annual golf tournament where we had it at the Marietta Golf Club, sold out. Mostly men. We're going to try to get more women involved, but it was amazing because we get to talk about breast cancer in a setting where people are comfortable talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I also had a luncheon this year which featured all new survivors, which was different. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people talk to me who I can, God, thank you, say I'm 15 years out from the second diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to women who were diagnosed for the first time. We had a panelist who was 31 years old
Mm-hmm.
at 30. So it was an amazing event. Next year, the gala is coming back where we are going to once again have a theme around it and showcase women who have been impacted by breast cancer. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to Rolling Out for always being so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate you. So 50 Shades of Pink is back. Breast cancer awareness out.
Okay, I can't even move on from that because hearing that statistic is shocking. 41%. Dr. Jackie, why is the number? I mean, that is almost half. And when I hear so much, and it could be because I'm here in Atlanta and I'm also a cancer survivor, so I hear so many things, but why are the numbers still that high? Why is there still such a gap between African American women and others?
So there are multiple reasons. One, we as Black women tend to have a more fatal breast cancer diagnosed, triple negative. If you've never heard that one, that is when you have an absence of certain markers, and
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer is harder to treat. Another reason is it is believed that we don't have access to care as other women do,
Mm-hmm.
especially in small towns. I'm from Mississippi, and there are some small towns with no traffic lights, a couple of stop signs. They don't have access to quality care, and I don't want to say they don't have access to care, but
Mm-hmm.
there to be said for women when you go into a place of medicine and you don't feel like you're treated properly, or the equipment isn't working that day, or
Mm-hmm.
they have a person to actually do your mammogram. So when we say access to care or limited care, it's not that Black women don't go to the doctor, because we definitely go to a doctor's. We
Mm-hmm.
have access to quality care. And then fear, mama and them and everybody in the world has scared us about a mammogram can cause cancer. And so
Mm-hmm.
the reasons that we have a poor prognosis than others. But the biggest reason I believe, Crystal, is we have a more fatal cancer when diagnosed, and oftentimes it's diagnosed late. And
Mhm.
as I said, early detection is your best protection. And the later you find out, the more fatal the disease can be.
Mhm. Let me ask you this because I feel like, over, we know that you've been on Married to Medicine. This is what, 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Conversation is different, but even it seems like women in different generations are responding differently. Do you find that women that are millennials and even Gen Zers and I guess this is a millennial generation, do you feel like the message is getting across and the younger women are more receptive? What is the difference between generations when at the way women look at healthcare and even look at speaking up and speaking out about issues that they're having?
So, great question. One, it is a fear that is so ingrained in us as Black women from grandma to grandma's grandma that there is still that fear. No matter the generation, there's still that fear. But you are right. Women are speaking up, especially our young women. They're saying, I have a right to be treated in a certain way. And we know that we've been dealing with the implicit bias that happens in medicine, but now women are speaking up. You don't get to treat me any different than you would anybody else. So I can certainly say that is going to make a change because yes, we speak up now. We're more vocal. We advocate for ourselves, and they do go to the doctor and they ask
Mhm.
very good questions, and they will not let it go. Say this generation will be the I believe will be the changing point for us as Black women.
hmm I definitely believe that. I do want to ask before we pivot from that because I think that's such an important. This is such an important topic and it's an important piece of what your mission is all about. Can you give maybe 3 tips for women if they are going because it can be very intimidating if you're not, if you don't understand medical terminology and even just being in a room and the equipment and being in an intimate space, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So can you give advice for women that may go to the doctor and a lot of times you feel like the doctor didn't give you the right answer and you don't know how to advocate for yourself because a lot of times we feel like, well, the doctor probably knows, but you have that feeling like maybe there's something that I'm not getting. How can women advocate for themselves if they're not getting the answers from their doctor that resonate with their spirit?
So one, I'm going to tell you, find a doctor you are comfortable with. I like to talk to my patients almost like they're good girlfriends. I mean, we definitely keep boundaries, but I
Mhm,
want to ask questions. So find a doctor who makes you feel comfortable. And if we don't make you feel comfortable, ask the right questions because we're human. You know, you may have been up all night. You may
mhm,
good day. So make sure you're finding somebody who makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel like you are important and that you should be in the room. And then educate yourself.
mhm,
Know family history so that you can ask for certain tests such as BRCA testing or genetic testing, common hereditary cancer syndrome testing, so that you can get all the right answers. And then be okay with the answer the doctor is giving you by asking more questions. If you don't feel like you got your answer, ask me another question. Tell
mhm,
me I understand because we're guilty of talking medical terminology. You understand that in the journalism world, you guys are talking, copy that, this, and you don't always understand. But
mhm,
you should always leave the room saying, "Do you have any questions?"
mhm,
That's how I like to end all of my visits is, "Do you have any questions?"
mhm, mhm. That's good. I know I love the fact that you do a lot on social media and especially with Married to Medicine being this great platform that kind of humanizes doctors, right? So we get a chance to see you, but we also get a chance to see that, Dr. Jackie is cool. She's relatable. So I could maybe figure out how I can find an OBGYN that I can have that type of relationship with. One of the things that you do is your social media platform. You answer questions, you talk about taboo things that a lot of times we have not, especially in the African American culture, talked about. So I want to hear from you, like, what is the response? Because I've seen you talking about everything from yoni eggs to different sexual things that women have questions about, but they've never felt. We talk to our girlfriends, but you may not talk to your OBGYN, who is probably who you need to talk to about just making sure things are safe and healthy. So, what has been the response from your social media conversations about things that women were not talking, doctors were not talking about on social media?
Crystal, I'm telling you, I have been approached by and who I would have thought would have never asked the questions they're asking. So it is something now I totally enjoy doing. And I listen to the patients. I listen to see what women are saying and asking, because we are always notorious of saying, I'm embarrassed to ask this question. You should never, ever be embarrassed to ask your OBGYN any question at all. So I
Mhm.
to them, I try to bring it back. Now, the thing is, I can't keep your attention more than 1 or 2 minutes.
Right.
So I tidbits on social media and then spark an interest so you go back and ask your OBGYN.
Mhm.
But I have been approached by women who are 80 years old.
Yeah.
I've been approached by some of your dignitaries in the world. I and you'll see this. I've actually had an opportunity to sit and talk to the Vice President of the United States of America about topics that I've spoken about. So if you don't have a social media account, I'm going to tell you, I'm getting a shameless plug for them. Get one. A lot of information out there that you're missing out on, and I want to use my platform to make sure that I use my life as a teaching tool.
Mhm.
That's what I want to do. Talk about those topics. Yes. And you saw the yoni egg. I got a million questions about should I use a yoni egg? I said, well, let me do my research. And I found out, I gave y'all on social media my thoughts on the yoni egg.
Yes, you did. And it's interesting. There are a lot of people on social media selling things, and one of the things that I've seen a lot is women selling solutions that are supposed to clean, freshen, and make your vagina taste a certain way, and all these things. And I'm like, a lot of these are not FDA approved. They're just someone making it in their kitchen. What We don't want to discourage people from patronizing Black businesses, but we need to be safe when it comes to the V. So
Right.
what are some rules of thumb that you would give for women that may be seeing all these different products, because social media allows people to advertise without boundaries, without having fact checkers or having an actual process in place?
So, I have right behind me the Queen Bee has it all in it. So if you have not purchased a copy of Dr. Jackie's Queen Bee, do get that. But the vagina is sacred. And the reason I called it the Queen Bee, Crystal, is the vagina is royalty. I mean, everybody who enters this world has to either go in through the vagina or come out through the vagina. And so I considered her a royal sacred space. And you should not be listening to, and I don't want to say FDA approved, because in OBGYN, we use a lot of things that have not been okayed by the FDA. But I do want to say that you do want to make sure your doctor is giving you a sign off on it.
Okay.
And the vagina is a self-cleaning oven. You do not have to use lotions and potions and products that's supposed to make you feel and taste a certain way, because it is not supposed to smell like rose flowers or taste like fruit. So I am really into, and you just gave me an idea. I might need to be the fact checking OBGYN of some of these products I see out there to
Mhm.
have to do that. The vagina will take care of itself. The vagina is one of the most forgiving parts of your body.
Mm,
You
mm,
can lot to a lot of parts of the body, but the vagina will allow a whole baby to come out and spring back.
mhm.
You can do a lot to the vagina. So just be mindful of what you're putting in the vagina and ask questions. That we don't do enough of that.
Mhm.
I enjoy the patients who ask questions. We have a whole hilarious laugh session in some of the questions, because no question is a dumb question.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that you're doing that. I think we champion you, Dr. Jackie, so much because it's something that women need, and the conversation about sex and sexuality is had often by people that are not coming from a health perspective. And so I think it's so important, but it's also important for women to feel relatable. And we get a chance, people have gotten a chance to know you watching you on a television show, and that's opened up opportunities for you to teach and be a person that people look to for more information so they can go back and have a better relationship with their OBGYN and with their own body. So we definitely give you your flowers for making this a conversation that we're not ashamed to have and that we can, access by going to your page.
Yeah. Crystal, my newest goal, and we'll move on, is to allow women to know that sex should be good for women too.
Mm.
Been taught to not talk about sex and feel dirty if we thought sex should be good. But we should be having ooh, ooh, ooh too. Okay? So
Absolutely.
great stuff coming out about improving the sex life of women, because it is no reason we should not be having good sex.
Agreed. And that's another thing we don't. I just, I can't move on because I think this is such a big topic on social media. We see a lot of women, a lot of content on young women of how to make your vagina seem, more pleasurable for others, but very little conversation about, are women actually receiving pleasure themselves?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have got a special coming out in my med spa that is called my Wow Shot, and you've seen it on Married to Medicine. I'm going to actually play that episode again for everybody so they can see. You should have good sex, and good sex means yes, women are having orgasms. If not, we should find out why. What can we do to make it better? How do you? What can I add to it? It's some good stuff out there, Crystal, and it's safe, and I don't promote anything I don't believe in.
We know that. We know we do. We know if Dr. Jackie promotes it, not only does she believe in it, but she has done her research. And I think that's so important because, like I said, the internet makes everything available. So you don't know if the product has been tested, if the product is. I talked to a young lady that said, well, I tried this on myself and it worked. And so now I'm selling it to millions of people. And I was like, that doesn't sound like the proper channels or
And
process.
listen, medicine is not an absolute science. So if it works on one, it does not mean it worked on all. So there needs to be some type of a sample size. Thousands of women have tried this and then it works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, don't listen to people. The only person you can do that with is Oprah.
Well, I love what you said about the vagina being royalty, and I think if when you're saying that, it's more than just a physical thing; it's probably a mental thing as well. So, how do you, in saying that, what do you want women to take away from seeing themselves and seeing their body as royalty in relation to how they share it with
Yes.
others?
Your mindset is so important. And think about your thoughts and where do your thought process come from? What you're watching on TV, who you're listening, who you're talking to creates thoughts. And we start thinking of thoughts. And then you start speaking those thoughts. So thoughts become words. And then you start acting out on your words like, okay, I'm not supposed to say have good sex, or so watch what you are, so who you're the sum total of the top 5 people you're hanging out with. I think it goes further than that. You become who your friends are hanging out with, and their friends and their friends. They've actually done research. It goes beyond your top 5. So watch what you're listening to and who you're listening to. Watch what you're watching on TV that sex is not supposed to be good, or you got to make noises. That just your mindset, because mindset is so powerful. We've seen people heal themselves with what they're thinking. So find something that is encouraging to you, uplifting to you, but find a doctor who you can relate to. If you cannot relate to your doctor, and I don't mind with everybody because I'm me,
Mm-hmm.
somebody you can relate to and they can answer and ask the hard questions. And patients know when they come in, I'm going from the Rudy to the Tootie. Like mental health, what's going on in your world? Yes, I'm getting in your business because in order to treat a female, you have to understand her from her top to her bottom. And I come to the Tootie.
So you believe that mental health, because that's another thing that I feel like has recently in the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years become more of a conversation piece specifically for African Americans. Do you feel like the progress that has happened in the mental health space is also spilling over into intimate health as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because I grew up and God bless my mother. So I love her. She's alive and healthy. But some of the stuff she told me, Crystal, growing up, now that I know better, I'm like, how in the world did I believe and receive the things my mother said? Oh, that's nasty. Don't say that. Don't do this. Don't. Oh my God. Please, please, please educate yourselves. Don't subscribe to a grandma and them and Pookie and them told us, because a lot of it is not true. But mental health is so important. If you're, you can be whole in a lot of areas. You can have a lot of money, you can have a lot of fame, but if you are not whole in your mind and in your mental health, and that's just being at peace, there
Mm,
is a sense of peace about yourself that you can't explain. Peace is like the umpire that rules everything else in your life.
mm.
Mindset is important. I think everybody should have a therapist. After the pandemic, I think everybody, and it's, I enjoy my therapist now is almost like a friend. And I go, wait a minute, I didn't talk to Dr. So and so, so and so.
Mhm.
Enjoy it. I think everybody needs to bounce something off of somebody who can help you say, no, baby, that doesn't make sense.
Mhm. Because your friends are not going to do that. Your
No,
friends are probably going to have the same mindset that you have.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And your friends should be those people who can help you get your mind back when you lose your, and we all lose our minds anyway. But friends, those friends who pray with you and tell you the truth. And we don't like people who tell us the truth.
Well, speaking of friends who tell us the truth, Dr. Jackie, this season, it's like Married to Medicine, there's a lot of new friends this season. We have added the fabulous Phaedra Parks
Yeah.
to Married to Medicine. And then we also have Sweet Tea,
Yes.
was very different, but very refreshing all the same. I want to get into what you think about this season, but the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I love the friendship between you and Dr. Heavenly, because you guys are like the yin and the yang. I feel like Dr. Heavenly will say what you may not be able to say, and then you can bring her back. Can you talk about just you guys' friendship as girlfriends? Because it's really refreshing to see two very accomplished women who are very different but yet have a love and respect for each other.
Absolutely. So if you did not and have not watched Married to Medicine season 2, Dr. Heavenly comes on the scene and immediately goes to Dr. Jackson. So we were not friends. We did not know each other, but I'm the person, like, I believe in second chances and I want to know why that didn't work. So I went back in for more. And after 9 seasons with Dr. Heavenly, 10 with Married to Medicine, 9 seasons with Dr. Heavenly, you are exactly right. I love her. I love, she can say things that I would never say, never dream to say or want to say, but I oftentimes make it make sense for Heavenly. Like, why do you think that made sense for you? But the other part of Dr. Heavenly people don't get to say, see, is she's an advocate for women empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing Dr. Heavenly University, and I'm helping her with that on the wealth, and your greatest wealth is your health. Is that she believes in taking chances. She believes in all of the business ideas that we've never been taught about, like trust
Mm-hmm.
and precious metals, understanding cryptocurrency, that I probably would have never tackled in my life. So this person who keeps me laughing,
Mm-hmm.
who will say whatever comes into her, comes out of her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
risk taker. We just recently went to Italy for my birthday, and we didn't do anything on the itinerary. None of it. We got on trains and went 4 hours away to eat pizza in, because she heard it on a Jay-Z song. Okay. Oh my God. So I absolutely, Heavenly, and just hanging out with her, we balance each other in so many ways,
Mm-hmm.
because most people don't get to see the serious side of Heavenly when she may shed a tear or when she may question, did I say the wrong thing? Yes, you. We balance each other in so many ways.
I will ask you this because watching just the first few two episodes, there is a lot happening. But do you think that, and I think I like Dr. Heavenly very much because I feel like she's honest, but a lot of times the things that she says can probably come off hurtful. But I don't think she means them to hurt, but she is very, she will say things that could probably hurt someone's feelings. Do you think that she is aware at the time? Because she seems very, afterwards, she seems very apologetic, but she does say things very blatantly. Like right now, she's, having the conversations about sweet tea and the fact that, you know, Dr. G probably would rather be with quiet. It's a lot happening. But do you think it's coming from a malicious place, or do you think that she just doesn't have a filter?
So she does that on and off the camera, everybody. That's what I want everybody to know. I'm with Heavenly, and I have to turn my head to go, did she just say that to me? So I think it's just Heavenly. And I don't think she has that sense of, should I not say it? And I really think everybody would want to be a Dr. Heavenly filter.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are so many times that we want to say stuff to our friends and our family, that we don't say, that would eliminate a lot of stress that we have. We carry it and go, I wish I had said it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say it. And until she sees the look on your face, Crystal, I don't think she realizes what she said is hurtful.
Yeah. I get that, because I don't think it seems like it comes out, and then when she sees the damage, she feels bad.
Yeah.
But she can't stop. She can't stop.
Yeah, she will say whatever. And then the crazy part about it, within minutes, she's forgotten the fact that I might have just hurt your feeling. And now let's laugh and have a good time and go eat.
Yeah, yeah. But everybody has someone in their family that's like that. So that is very familiar. So like I said, Phaedra is a big personality. Fans are excited about just the fabulousness that Phaedra brings. What do you think about her addition to the cast, and what she's bringing? Because she kind of got a little Dr. Heavenly in her as well.
Okay, I was about to say, Phaedra is a mixture of the two of us.
Nice.
You
Okay.
know, she's the Southern Belle, and she's gonna always, so much more than me, pull herself up in her makeup, and her lipstick has perfect. She is always pulled together, but will say the most Phaedra-like things that you and like myself, you got to think about what Phaedra. We recall Phaedra telling a cast member one time, "Ooh, honey, that's an old nasty wrap dress. It's cute." And she said, "But it would be better for Miss Roper to wear than." You're like, so yes, we enjoy Phaedra. She is such a mixture of the two of us.
Mm-hmm. I can
That,
see that.
I mean, really, she fits right in the middle of the two of us, and then she'll say some stuff that you'll go, Phaedra, much. But then she'll turn around and be as sweet as, oh, that's so pretty you have on. But if you just pull it a little to the left, it would be perfect.
It's a little nice, nasty.
Nice.
Now, sweet tea is also a new addition. And how uncomfortable, because it seemed very uncomfortable for you all going back into the house that you had visited initially with Quad and Dr. G. It's very weird that the house is the same house, that you'd bring a new woman in. How uncomfortable is not just going into the house, but the whole relationship? Do you feel having a relationship with Sweet Tea would somehow, kind of be a little bit of a betrayal to your friendship with Quad? How are you managing that?
Now, you don't have enough time for me to explain it. I actually met Letitia, I like to call her Letitia, through Greg at the 50 Shades of Pink golf tournament.
Okay.
To the very first golf tournament. And I'm like, typical Black woman. Ooh, oh my God. And Quad and Greg were divorced.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I met her, and she came back to the second tournament. So I actually met her before. Not a lot of conversation with her, but I knew she had a little bit of sass about her. So I knew Greg had to be attracted to the sass.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I had not gone back into the home and saw it where she changed it.
Right.
It was like, okay. So when we heard that Sweet Tea was joining the cast of Married to Medicine, I'm thinking now, I know if it were Kirk, I would expect none of these girls to be friends with Kirk's new wife.
Mm-hmm. And you said that. You were very clear.
Now, I don't dislike her as Letitia, but it is a very strange setting to have my friend's husband have a new wife. But, I'm stay respectful of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Strange to go into what we knew as Quad's house.
Yes.
to now see it as the new wife's house. So
Mhm.
who else but Married to Medicine could come up with something so original and so um, Married to Medicine?
So married to mess, and we have to thank Dr. Heavenly for that. I like that. You're right. We should not call her Sweet Tea. I will call her Letitia. That does make a lot of sense, Dr. Jackie. Before we let you go, what are you excited about people seeing? Because I feel like you walk this tightrope of really being this amazing example, but you're also on a show that is going to put you in situations that are going to test that decorum that you walk in so regularly. So what are you excited about viewers getting a chance to see this season?
So the one thing I say about Married to Medicine, and I say about myself personally, is be who you really are. Be who you are on the camera and off the camera, and you can never go wrong. So the decorum that I keep it every day, all day, in my life, in my office, in my home. And so I still get to be me. Now, you are exactly right. I will be put in a position this year
Mhm.
that I can say I don't think I have ever in the 10 years been placed.
Okay.
And you get to test that pulled up decorum that I live by this year on Married to Medicine. When you see me get you gotta watch it, Crystal. Oh my God. I think everybody on the cast, everybody in this particular scene were clenched their pearls. They were shocked, so much so that I even had to say, so yeah, this season is different. We did add new blood. There is also a new friend that I think you will meet this week, who
Hmm.
also a dentist. So
Oh,
that's
wow. Okay.
a whole different touch to the show, and that we have now two dentists
Hmm.
in our show, and they're both women and they're both Black women.
Well, I can't wait. You will have to come back, Dr. Jackie. We'll have to visit with you later in the season so
Yeah.
we can have a conversation about that. But as always, I've known you for years and I have so much respect for the example that you stand in, and you are a living example of Black excellence. And whenever I get a chance to give you your flowers, I love to do that because it means so much. And I hope you know that from myself and also from Rolling Out. Munson is a huge fan. He's like, "Where's Dr. Jackie? We got to get her back on." So we are honored to be able to celebrate you, and to be able to be a part of your circle to support the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for that. And we can't wait to see this season. So you got to come back.
Well, yeah, I will come back, and thank you, Crystal, personally for your support. I love Munson. Thank you. And Rolling Out has been a great supporter of not only me, but 50 Shades of Pink. So we honor you guys. We thank you, and keep rolling out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will. Well, thank you. We know you. We know we got to let you go. We know you're a busy lady. So keep doing what you do, and we will check in with you later this season. Thank you, Dr. Jackie.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation with Dr. Jackie. Please make sure that you are following her on social media, specifically the women out there that may have questions, because I know a lot of times for some of us, it may be a little intimidating to ask a question. But if you can go to Dr. Jackie's social media and scroll down and see some of the questions that you have, that may open the door for you to be able to reach out to your own OBGYN or just get some more information, give you that strength to go ahead and check out things. So we encourage you to do that. We also encourage you to check back here at Rolling Out for more information on the cover that we're doing here on Dr. Jackie. You can see all that and so much more on rollingout.com. Thank you guys, and we will see you next time.